Welcome, fight fans. It's your boy Joe Martini, back once again with a breakdown of a championship fight taking place September 22nd in London, UK. This fight's going to feature Anthony Joshua, the #1 heavyweight in the world, against Alexander Povetkin, the Russian Vitalaz. That nickname stands for a weapon that's used by the military and the police in Russia. It's like a submachine. AK-74. So it's gonna be an interesting fight. Joshua defending the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO heavyweight titles. Of course, the WBC title held by Deontay Wilder. Interesting fight. This is a Russian who won gold medal for Russia back in 2004 as a heavyweight. He also had a great amateur record of 125 wins, 7 losses. He avenged all his losses. We're talking about a guy that's now 39 years old, only 1 career loss against Vladimir Klitschko, of course, a champion in the heavyweight division for years. This guy fought great competition throughout his career, so this is going to be a good fight. His opponents have a winning percentage of 86%. We're talking about 875 wins, guys, with only 125 losses and 23 draws. That's an 86% winning percentage for his opponents. Of course, he's 34-1, no draws, 24 knockouts. The guy is 6'2", 75-inch reach, 39 years old. He's fought 8 world title contenders, most notably Carlos Takam, who also fought Joshua. The guys fought 7 world champions, including Marco Huck, Vladimir Klitschko, names Chris Bird, Ruslan Chagaev. Ruslan Chagaev was a guy he defeated when he was 32 years old. He held the title for 2 years. He defended it 4 times before the WBA heavyweight title, before he lost to Vladimir Klitschko. So Hasim Rahman was another former world champion that he fought and beat. So the guy is fights some good fighters. He's undefeated against boxers that have never lost. He's fought 2 undefeated fighters in his career. He knocked one out and won on a decision against the other one. So guess what? Joshua's undefeated. So that record may end, or he may continue. It may continue to be seen. But that's why we do these predictions, previews, because it's so interesting. His only loss against Vladimir Klitschko, I didn't like that fight. That was a dirty fight. The referee, I forget what his name is, but he did a terrible job in that fight. Because the thing is that Klitschko held 161 times in that fight. I watched that fight again and again. Klitschko held 161 times in that fight, and he leaned his body on the shorter fighter. Klitschko is 6'6", like Joshua, and he kept leaning on the 6'2" smaller fighter, which tired him out. By the 3rd round, he was gassed. Povetkin was gassed. So I thought that a lot of points should have been deducted from Klitschko in that fight. A few times I saw him throw the opponent down on the ground, and Povetkin was getting, they were being counted as knockdowns. So that was a dirty fight. I still had Klitschko winning 112 to 108 because throughout all the point deductions that I would have given him, I would have scored that fight 112-108 because the guy didn't win 1 round. Povetkin did not win 1 round in that fight. So that's his only loss. It was a real dirty fight. I did not enjoy that fight. I wish Luis Pabon was the referee. Don't want to see him referee a fight like that again. But anyway, another thing about Povetkin, he's only fought 2 guys that are 6'6". The first guy took him 10 rounds. The second guy he lost. That was Vladimir Klitschko. So again, another stat I'm throwing out there for this fight that's coming up real soon. Interesting stats, man. So we'll see what happens. And so that's your challenger for the evening. I want to talk a little about AJ, Anthony Joshua, the #1 heavyweight in the world right now. This guy is undefeated. He's also a former gold medalist. He did represent the United Kingdom and won gold medal himself. Anthony Joshua is 28 years old from the United Kingdom. and he's a right-handed fighter who stands 6'6", as I said earlier. He's got an 82-inch reach. He's a seven-year professional, and he's got 21 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, with 20 knockouts in 77 rounds in his career. At the beginning of his career, he was knocking people out, and he was knocking them out early. But in the last 3 or 4 fights, he's shown that he can go the distance and that he can go past 6 rounds, and he's got stamina. Plus, he's young. You know, at his age, 28 years old, he should have enough juice to take fights a lot longer, especially with the competition getting harder. You start fighting these guys that are world title contenders, world champions, and it's not as easy as it was at the beginning of the career where he was knocking everybody out. The last 3 fights have been challenging, but he's responded pretty well. He's learning. In his career, he's fought 6 undefeated fighters, and he's beat them all. He's knocked 5 out. His last fight against Joseph Parker did go the distance. That was an undefeated fighter, but again, he showed stamina, and he showed a lot of heart. So the guy, to me right now, is like a young Lennox Lewis. He's untouchable. He's untouchable. That doesn't mean that he can't lose. It just means that if he comes in a fight well prepared, I just don't feel anybody can touch him, including Wilder. Some notes about this guy. He's also fought 5 world title contenders. He's fought 3 world champions. So his opponents have only won 77% of their fights. But keep in mind that he's still got a future ahead, and where he's going to start fighting a lot of guys that only have 1 losses and a lot of wins, or 2 or 3 losses. So it's not the same guys that he was facing in the beginning of the career. But as far as my prediction is concerned, I like Joshua for this fight. Joshua has an excellent jab. He keeps his gloves up, and he seems to go to the body early. If you watch his fights, he likes to go to the body early, and he fights well from the outside. So that's very important for a heavyweight. He utilizes speed. He has a good chin, as he's been down before, but he's recovered, especially on the Wilder fight. So he has the ability to take a good punch. Povetkin at 39, the guy has great movement, man. He's got hand speed. He's got a powerful right. He attacks the body, but he does have a problem against heavyweights that have a good jab, and they attack him pretty good. So he's got I think Joshua has a pretty good jab. He likes to rip the body, which is good. He favors his right hand. If you always look at his fights, he's knocking guys out with the right, but he throws good combinations, but you can tell that's his power. That's where he derives most of his powers, in his right hand. And that's where Joshua's got to be careful, because Joshua's been down to a right hand before, when he fought Klitschko in the 6th round, back in that super fight, April 29, 2017. So I think Joshua's on top of the world right now, guys. If he comes into this fight in great shape, we're in for another great fight against the best heavyweight out there that is not named Wilder. But remember Joshua's height, his speed, his power, his legs should be enough to win a hard-fought decision against an older boxer. So that's my prediction. The KO, I don't think it's gonna be a knockout. I think that Alexander has a big heart, and to me, he's only been down once in his career. That was the first knockdown Wilder gave him in the 2nd round of their fight. Everything else was either illegal or he was thrown down. He has received a standing 8 count in his last fight against David Price, but he didn't go down. He got stumbled. Hit the ropes, but he did not go down. So I don't think Joshua will knock him out. I think Joshua will win a decision against this great Russian future Hall of Fame fighter. I think this age is going to play out huge. I think the Russian is going to run out of stamina by round 5 or 6. So there you have it, folks. Your boy, Joe Martini. 1.